if you're able to tick all three, you know, coupled with the speaking methods, you're guaranteed transformation. Isn't that a great guarantee? So I want to share the trait number one. And trait number one is, a lot of those people never wait for the perfect time. In other words, they're not the people who want things to be aligned and you've got enough resources, you've got enough time, work is supporting you, or the business is just automated and now you're able to focus on yourself. Reality is life is messy, right? And the leaders who achieve that transformation are able to work inside that messy space. They're able to take imperfect action and lean into it, and often describe this as highly relevant to people who are dealing and addressing a fear, especially when it comes to the fear of public speaking, but any fear. Because let's face it, fear is like a bully. It's always there. It always looks bigger and stronger and more powerful. But the people who are willing to take action, even imperfect action, you don't need to punch the bully in the face, simply trip the bully up or say no. And that's enough. That imperfect action often puts a dent in that fallacy, in that image, in that false narrative. And that's what we found again and again with lots of our super successful clients. So trait number one is not waiting for the perfect time. And I'd argue the perfect time is now, in order for you to fail forwards and keep learning. And relevant to this particular principle is characteristic number two. And that is your ability to apply action in relation to the feedback. In other words, people who demonstrate the trait of learning tend to have the ability to apply feedback and simply give it a go. Trust the process, take a gamble, leap of faith. And that could be something as simple from a public speaking perspective as sitting up, using your gestures in a more animated way, allowing your voice to have more variety, more melody and more rhythm. And instantly you're appealing to your inner leader, your inner amplified version of yourself. Notice I'm okay with imperfect action. Even as a speaking coach, I will stutter or stammer. So what? You're allowed to be yourself. And that becomes super powerful as a characteristic, applying that feedback imperfectly. And that was characteristic number two. And it leads me on to the most powerful, which I see as my personal favorite. And as an investor, as a property investor, one of my other businesses is allowing myself to buy property, look at the ROI, making sure that the cash flow stacks up against the price. And therefore I go with numbers. I look at the ROI, return on investment. But the people, when it comes to public speaking, the leaders who get the greatest results, guaranteed the results, are the ones who have the realization that the ROI, the return on investment, is exponential. And I can qualify this by explaining that speakers, top-end speakers, can earn millions of pounds from stage, but even relatively mid-level speakers, we're talking about 100k plus per annum. It's one of the highest paid professions. But if you as a professional in a career want to amplify your career, speaking communication, leadership communication can amplify your salary consistently over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50k for most people per annum. And for C-suite leaders, that can be in the hundreds, six figures plus, especially if your salary is pegged against profitability. So we understand from a career perspective, speaking is a fast track mechanism, and those people who realize that the ROI is exponential. And that's the same for entrepreneurs. If you sell your ideas and services to many people, not only you're the authority, you're generating a lot more leads and you're able to convert people because you've got a great communication pattern and style and confidence. So it's a separate video really explaining why this happens. But the reality is the ROI is exponential. And those people who realize that when it comes to speaking and speaking impact are a lot more motivated, therefore more energetic, therefore more amplified, and able to gain significantly more traction when it comes to the coaching methods and the tools that we support our clients in. So there you have it, 1, 2, and 3. They don't wait for the perfect time, not the perfect video. They don't wait for the perfect time. They're okay to apply the feedback instantly and imperfectly. They're okay to have a go. And number 3, they see the return on investment. They see it as exponential. They're motivated, they're energized by the opportunity. Now, if those 2 or 3 traits are you, I'd love to have a conversation with you, because we can simply guarantee you speaking transformation. You have the right speaking DNA, as I call it, and we have the right toolkit to get you started and get you on your leadership communication journey. I'm Bilal Jamil from Public Speaking Academy. I'm looking forward to getting you started.